do the truffle shuffle.
Damn you! Wanna fight, huh? Fight me! Yeah!
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Linda, wait! For God's sake, I vacuum, Linda!
I'm setting booby traps. Booby traps. That's what I said. I'm setting booby traps.
That didn't hurt! That didn't hurt! That didn't hurt! That hurt!
You know, if I did some sit-ups in the morning or bent over like this, I'd probably feel 100% better. Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Vainella, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Year That Was, a movie year in review show where we talk about all of the notable movies that came out in the same calendar year. And in this episode, we're returning to cover one of the big ones. One of what I thought was one of the big ones. The movie year that was in 1985. Now, this is a big episode for me for a couple of reasons. One, because I've been kind of circling around 1985 for a while, waiting to get to it for a couple of different reasons. There's a lot of important movies on here that I wanted to talk about. But the main reason why I held off on doing this episode was because there was a particular person who wanted me to save this movie for her just so that she could be on this one particular episode, and mostly because she wanted to talk about one particular movie that came out in this year. So for the very first time in this podcast, I'm going to have a live guest in my little recording space. I don't want to call it a studio. I don't really have a studio, but I do have a little recording space. So I'm going to actually have somebody here live with me to record with me for the very first time. And you may be wondering, how did I manage to do that? How was it that I managed to get somebody to actually record with me in my own little recording space? Well, it was pretty easy because this person actually lives with me in this very same recording space. That's right. You probably have figured it out by now. My guest for the first time on this show is going to be my wife, Cari Vainella. So I'm very excited to get to that conversation with her. Like I said, she's been forcing me to save 1985 just for her. Well, not just for her, but to make sure that she was included in the 1985 movie year that was, and for one particular movie in particular. And I'm not going to give away what that movie is yet, but we'll get to it. Also joining me, coming back on the show, will be my brother-in-law and fellow movie enthusiast, Edward Schilling. So this might be a little bit different because now we're going to have three people talking on this show instead of just two. But I'm really excited to get to the movie year that was 1985. Okay, so welcome back to the movie year that was. My brother-in-law and fellow movie enthusiast, Edward Schilling. Edward, how you doing?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing great, man. And this is an exciting moment for the movie year that was, because now we're going to have our first live in, it's not a studio, but like a little recording area guest on the show. My wife, Cari Vainella. Welcome to the movie year that was, Cari Vainella.
Thank you, honey.
All right, so the movie year that we're doing this year is the movie year that was 1985. And the reason that Cari wanted to be on this episode was for one particular movie. And we're not going to give it away yet. All right. We're going to wait. Not going to spoil the surprise as to what the movie was. But what Cari did was she asked me, when did this movie come out? And I told her what year that movie came out. And she goes, okay, that's the movie year that was that I want to be on. Right? She didn't have any idea what else came out in 1985. She just knew that this one particular movie came out in 1985. And that was the reason that she wanted to be on the show.
And I also didn't care what other movie came out. It was just about that movie.
Yeah, Ronnie mentioning there were a lot of good movies that came out that year.
Okay, well, I guess we could start there. Because I went back and I looked at all the rest of the movies that came out in 1985. And on first glance, there are a lot of what we would think of as like classic movies that came out in 1985, like 80s classics. We talked about this in other 80s years, that this idea of the 80s classic. But in revisiting some of these movies or just thinking about them again, there's a big difference. There's actually a big difference between what I remember as being really good and them actually being really good or not. One thing I will say about this era of movies was that they're really fun. We're going to talk about a lot of movies that are really fun. They're funny and they're a good time. They're not what we've talked about as like prestigious films. There are not a lot of prestigious films that came out in 1985, which is fine. And it's more like I know, Edward, you're a big popcorn guy over Prestige. And I like popcorn movies, and I like probably more popcorn movies that came out this year, but it's like really heavy popcorn in 85 as opposed to prestigious films that came out in this year.
You call them prestigious and I call them bougie.
Right. Cari thinks they're like artsy fartsy or like bougie movies.
Yeah.
Like snobby, like movie snobs, like those kind of movies. Well, that's why they're good.
That's why they're terrible.
No, they're not terrible. Cari and I have completely polar opposites. As much as you and I have different tastes in movies, Edward, Cari and I have like completely different tastes in movies. So what did you say? You said something to me before we started. Say it again about what struck you when you first looked over the movie year that was 1985.
That there was, I kind of had struggled finding my top 10 on it because there was a lot of it that I had seen, but I don't really necessarily
I lost you.
find it to be all that great of a film in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I know. I said pretty much the exact same thing. I usually save this for a little bit, but I'll mention it now. There were 199 movies, according to Wikipedia. There were 199 movies that came out in America in the year 1985. And when I looked over my records, because I keep a record of every movie I've ever seen, I've only saw 65 of them. And that's got to be the lowest number we've had in this show of movies that I've seen in a particular year. So I ran into pretty much the same problem you ran into. Maybe I saw more than that. Maybe I actually saw a lot more movies than I think I did. I just don't. When I was looking over this list, a lot of these movies I don't remember at all.
Well, we were only 10.
No, I know, but we've had all these years to rewatch them. So you know what I mean. So this year is going to break down in a couple of different ways. Because now that I have two guests on the show, this gives me an opportunity to do something that I've wanted to do before. But one thing is we're going to play the Elodie game, which we played in 1989. I don't know if you remember this, Edward. Remember that year, 1998? Sorry, not 89. Remember the movie year that was 1998 when you barely saw any of the movies that we did?
Yeah.
How could you forget, right? And I told you about a game, for any of you who haven't seen that episode, and it was something I made up for my brother-in-law's wife, and I wound up giving it to everybody else that I knew who I knew watched the movies, and all the movies fell into one of 5 different categories. And I've written the categories down here for Cari to look at. But if it's a 0, that means you've never heard of it. If it's a 1, it means you've heard of the movie but you never saw it. If it's a 2, it means that you've seen some of the movie more than just the previews. 3 means you've seen the entire movie. 4 means you've seen it more than once. And 5, you've seen it many times. So all of the movies are going to fall on the scale from 0 to 5. So you guys are going to play against each other as to see, because I'm very curious as to where a lot of these movies fall on this list. And one thing that's going to come up for me, and I'm sure will come up for both of you, is that there'll be movies that we know we have seen. I'm sure I saw it. I remember seeing some of it. I actually went into the theater to go see. But it's been such a long time since I've seen it. I don't remember what happens in it. Did you find that when you were going over your list? It was like, oh yeah, I've seen that one. I don't remember it, but I saw it.
Yeah. There were a few of them where I had to I had to look at it and be like, oh God, what went on in that? I don't even remember. I know I've seen it, but
yeah, there are a lot more notable titles than there are like memorable titles. And the other thing that we're gonna go over as we go through this is that all of these movies live on one of 2 streets. Okay, they either live on Classic Avenue, which means they're still classics, or they live on what I'm going to call Nostalgia Boulevard, which means like we have fond memories of these movies, but they're not very good.
Or terrible.
No, you might think they're terrible, but they either have either good reputations or we remember them fondly, but they exist on Nostalgia Boulevard. So all the movies are gonna all the good movies, or at least movies that we think are good, are gonna live on one of those two places, either Classic Avenue or Nostalgia Boulevard. All right, so with that being said, we're going to commence with the calendar, and we're going to go through the movie year that was 1985. So, like I said about that there were 199 movies that came out this year. Now, the first notable title that I saw on here was a movie called The Falcon and the Snowman. Have either of you heard of the movie The Falcon and the Snowman?
No.
So for Cari, that's a 0.
No.
Yeah. I am vaguely familiar with the title. I don't know that I've ever seen it.
Okay. So The Falcon and the Snowman was a movie with Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn, two notable actors from the time period. They were both very young. And this was a screenplay written by Steven Zaillian. Steven Zaillian, famous for writing the final version of Schindler's List and Searching for Bobby Fischer. It's kind of like a spy movie. They're like two friends. They're both like in their early 20s, Timothy Hutton and Sean Penn. And it just so happens that they run in the same circle of espionage, and they have no idea that they're both on different sides of this thing. And I didn't remember it at first, but I went back and looked for it because Siskel and Ebert thought that it was one of their favorite movies of the year. So I thought that must be some movie worth noting. If they both thought it was one of their top 10 movies of the year, I'll go over that a little later. But it really wasn't my tempo. I was just very curious as to whether either of you had even heard of it. Now there was something that came out. I know Ronnie is in the background there. My sister Veronica is Edward's wife and my sister, and she's in the background of this episode. And I know that she's seen this because my parents made us watch this, and I don't know whether Cari's seen this or not, but it's something called That's Dancing. Have you ever heard of a show called That's Dancing?
That's entertainment.
No. It's called there's That's Entertainment. That's one thing, and this other thing is called That's Dancing.
Oh,
That's Dancing was from 85.
Kelly, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, it has a lot. Everybody who's ever done any notable dancing in a movie has was in this like compilation. It's actually called, what is it called? It's called a compilation. It's not even called a documentary. It's just called it's called a compilation.
Oh,
you can see I have the list up here right now. It's Sammy Davis Jr. and Mikhail Baryshnikov and Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire and Liza Minnelli and Lucille Ball and Jimmy Cagney and everybody. Every notable person you could think of is Shirley MacLaine, and I know Frank Sinatra was on here, and Red Skelton, and even Michael Jackson, and just every notable dancer that you could think of. What?
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner was on here. Just so many different people were on this. I remember seeing That's Entertainment also, but That's Dancing came out in 85, and I don't remember seeing this till many years later. But I don't remember if did you ever see That's Dancing?
Never even heard of it.
Wow, I should show it to you sometime. It's a fun watch. Okay. Well, it's all compiled of all these different film footage from since the beginning of movies. So it's really not like it was something original, but they compiled all this different dancing footage from the history of movies, and that's what they called it. They called it That's Dancing. It was a side piece to side project of That's Entertainment.
So it's not even a movie, technically.
Yeah, technically, you're right. It's not even a movie. It's just a compilation. But it came out in 85. And that's the movie that has more stars in it than anything we're going to talk about this entire episode.
Yes.
So it's a documentary before documentaries were a thing.
Well, no, documentaries were still a thing. And they don't even call it a documentary. They call it a compilation. I don't think there's any overriding narration to this thing.
It's one giant clip show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just one giant clip show from one thing to the next of just people dancing over and over again. So that was from 85. It was too notable for me to leave off the list. All right, so the next thing on the list, there are a couple of titles that I kind of recognize the titles, but I don't remember anything about the movie. One was called The New Kids. Another one was called Fandango. Fandango has Kevin Costner and Judd Nelson in it, but a title that I recognize, but I don't remember seeing this movie at all.
I kind of remember the name of that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there was a TV movie of the Dirty Dozen. There was a TV movie of the Dirty Dozen that came out in 85 with Lee Marvin and Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, yes. I have seen that.
All right, that was 85. Okay, so the next movie that was worth noting that is one of the good movies from 85 is a movie called Heaven Help Us. Heaven Help Us stars Andrew McCarthy, what is it? McCarthy, sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, right, McCarthy and Mary Stuart Masterson and Kevin Dillon and Patrick Dempsey. Do you have any, Cari, do you have any remembrance of Heaven Help Us?
Yes, I've seen that movie.
Okay, you have seen. So there you go. There's Cari's first movie that she has seen from 85 on this list. Right, how about you guys? You both seen Heaven Help Us?
I have,
I've-
yes. It's
I've
very,
seen it.
I find it to be very funny.
I've seen it too.
And what do you think of it, Ronnie?
I thought it was funny.
It was
Okay.
cute. A light romp.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it's pretty good. It's a nice ensemble of young actors. It's kind of like what is it called? Dead Poet Society before Dead Poet Society.
Yes, that's a good analogy.
Okay, so then we got the next notable title from 85 was Witness with Harrison Ford.
I've seen that, but I don't quite remember.
Right. This is one of those titles, right? This is one of those titles where people might definitely remember the title of this movie, but might not actually remember the movie. Do you remember this movie, Cari?
I remember the movie. I didn't like it very much. It's not really something that I like watching.
It's not your tempo?
Oh, no, I am not saying that. I hate that you call it that.
Why? Why do you like? She doesn't like that's not my tempo. Why don't you like that's not my tempo? It's like my catchphrase in this show.
I don't know. It's weird.
It's definitely not weird. It's great. You like that's my tempo, don't you, Edward?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I can't complain about it. It's a cool. It's definitely a phrase I don't think everybody uses, so I think it works well for the podcast.
It's a
Sorry.
cute kind of catchphrase.
And Witness is not Cari's tempo. Whether she'll say it out loud or not, it's not her tempo.
It's not my speed.
So okay, she's not her speed. I liked Witness. It's actually one of my notable it's on my notable mentions from 85. It's also I could recognize it as a great film. Let's put it that way. I think this is a great movie that I don't really like revisiting just because it's a little bit uncomfortable as it's suspenseful and it's just gut wrenching, not gut wrenching, but it's just intense, a little bit too intense for me. There's some really hot stuff between Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis there is. In even though she's an Amish lady, right?
Yeah.
So this was Harrison Ford whatever. Did Harrison Ford ever cool off? I don't know if Harrison Ford ever cooled off. I was gonna say this is when Harrison Ford was at his hottest, but I don't know if Harrison Ford ever really cooled off.
No, he's still crazy.
But big movie for him from I remember we talked about this in 86 when we talked about Frantic. Whenever a Harrison Ford movie came out, it was a big deal. So this was a big deal in 85, I would assume, right? Well, actually, whatever. I know it was because it got a lot of acclaim and it made the Siskel and Ebert top 10, and I think it was nominated for Best Picture. We'll talk about the Oscars.
There was that point in time where Ford, no matter what he did, no matter what he touched, it was gold, and he could do no wrong, and for a very long time in the theater. And
Still pretty much.
I think that was definitely in the middle of that run.
Danny Glover plays a bad guy. He plays the bad guy in this movie. He's the one trying to kill the kid.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And you remember who the kid is?
I
Without looking it up.
No, I can picture his face, but I don't know who he is.
Lucas Haas.
Is it really? I didn't
That's
remember
the kid.
that.
That's the little kid.
I don't
Anyway,
even know who that is.
I know I can't remember any Lucas Haas titles off the top of my head, but where would Cari know Lucas Haas from?
Oh, I see his face. Okay. I have no idea where from, but I know what his face looks like.
Yeah, that's a good. He's one of those actors where it's like name a movie he was in, and you're
Right?
like,
Mars Attacks was his next credit. I mean, it was seriously wow. Okay. All right, I'm sure he has other credits, but I couldn't find any. All right, so right after Witness was The Breakfast Club.
Oh, our favorite.
We've all seen that, I think.
All right, we definitely have seen that one. That's a 5, I think, for everybody on this podcast.
Yes.
And
yeah,
this is a John Hughes movie. He wrote and directed this film. Peak John Hughes during this time period. And I'll go for it. I like this movie a lot. But there's just something about it. There's something about it. it's not my favorite. It's on my list. I'm pretty sure. I think it may be on my top 10. I'm not exactly sure if it is. I have to go back and check my top 10 list, which is right there. It is no, it just misses my top.
I know we have seen it multiple times.
Yeah, I'm right. But yeah, it just misses my top 10 list, and I don't think it's on Cari's at all.
No.
It was originally. Then when we revisited her list last night, she decided to take it off.
Took a
So
whole lot of stuff off.
yeah, her first glance 85 is different than that when she actually thought about it. And 80, and this was one of those movies that once she gave it a good thought.
I was like, nope.
Yeah, no, I don't. So what is it about Breakfast Club that made you want to take it off your list?
I don't know. It's overplayed. I've seen it so many times, and it's just not interesting like that anymore. I guess it hit me differently when I was younger than it does now.
So there would be a movie that for you lives on Nostalgia Boulevard more than it lives on Classic Avenue.
Yes, I guess you can call it that.
Okay. So where is this for you guys? Does this movie still live on Classic Avenue for you, or is it Nostalgia Boulevard?
No,
I
I
lost you.
think it's a classic for me. I mean, I still watch it and I still enjoy it as much as I did when I first saw it. And oddly enough, my nephew, who really isn't, it's one of those. He's one of those people where if it's talky, he loses track of what's going on and stops watching it. But even he enjoyed it, so I think it kind of holds up fairly well.
Yeah. Well, how old is he?
He is 15.
Oh yeah, it's perfect for him because it speaks to a whole bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
And they're all like rebelling against the authority, and they all show up for Saturday detention. And there's a ensemble element to this where just these mismatched group of misfits are, they would never hang out in any other circumstance, and they're kind of forced to interact. And Judd Nelson is really like the disruptor of the group, really forcing this plot forward, forcing them to interact and to conflict with each other. And he drives all the conflict in this movie. And there are some clips. This will be the first place where I'll put some movie clips, because there are some notable lines from Breakfast Club that definitely belong in here, especially about the part about, does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Yeah, I got a question. Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Give you the answer to that question, Mr. Bender, next Saturday.
And who is the bag? Who's the what's it called? Who's the guy? Who's the monitor? Who's their like teacher monitor? Who's the guy who's supposed to be in charge? What's his name?
The principal?
No.
He's in Die Hard as well, and I can't think of his real name off the top of my head.
I can't remember. I'll have to look him up. I'll put him in the corrections. But yeah, he's that guy. You've known him for. He's the bad guy in Breakfast Club. He's the one who said, "You mess with the bull, you get the horns." That one, that guy.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Yeah.
That's Paul Gleason.
Yeah, it's Paul Gleason. It is.
Oh, there you go, Paul Gleason. There he is. That's sure enough. Okay. So also he was also the bad guy in Trading Places too.
Yep.
So right, peak. This is peak time for him too. By the way, such a typecasted bad guy. Well, I don't know if he was ever a good guy in any movie he was ever in. But yeah, so there are some notable. I love Anthony Michael Hall. This is we talked about Anthony Michael Hall a couple of times in this podcast, and about how he has aged so rapidly in just a couple of years. Remember, in 1983, he first came on the scene in the movie National Lampoon's Vacation, and he looked really young in that movie. Although I just listened to a podcast about that movie, and he had a growth spurt while they were filming that movie, to the point that by the end of that film, he was taller than Beverly D'Angelo.
Yeah,
and I have seen that. That's funny. The comparison is hysterical.
Right, and they filmed it. They filmed the movie in sequence. So by the end of the movie, he's taller than his mom. And by the beginning, he's shorter than her, but by the end, he's taller than Anyway, it definitely shows in subsequent films because by the time we get to the last movie he's in this year, he is really grown up. And you would never think he's only 2 years removed from the movie Vacation. That's how fast Anthony Michael Hall grows up. This is like the movie in the middle between Vacation and the last one. I don't want to give away the other movie that he's in from this year, but just how fast Anthony Michael Hall grows up on screen in front of our eyes, just a couple of years, is fascinating. And he's got a couple of good lines. Who's your mom married to? Mr. Rogers? And then he says, no, it's Mr. Johnson.
Well, Brian, this is a very nutritious lunch. All the food groups are represented. Did your mom marry Mr. Rogers? No, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, so like I said, there'll be some clips of Breakfast Club in here.
The next time I have to come in here, I'm cracking skulls. What was that ruckus?
What ruckus?
I was just in my office and I heard a ruckus.
Could you describe the ruckus, sir?
You're not fooling anybody, Bender. The next screw that falls out is going to be you.
Eat my shorts.
What was that?
Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday, mister.
Crushed.
You just bought one more right there.
Well, I'm free the Saturday after that. Beyond that, I'm going to have to check my calendar.
Good, because it's going to be filled. We'll keep going. I've got you for the rest of your natural-born life if you don't watch your step. You want another one?
Yes.
You got it. You got another one right there. That's another one, pal.
Cut it out.
You through?
Not even close, bud.
Good. You got one more right there.
You really think I give a shit?
Another. You through?
How many is that? That's 7, including the one when we first came in. You asked Mr. Vernon here whether Barry Manilow knew that he raided his closet.
Now it's 8. You stay out of it.
For me, I think this does. I'm with Cari more. I think this lives more in nostalgia boulevard for me. I think this movie goes off of his reputation more than how good it is. It's a little bit uncomfortable for me. I'm not a huge Judd Nelson fan. I know he's a real badass in this movie, and he's one of the few badasses in any John Hughes movie. But it doesn't, for some reason, it just, like I said, it was 11th on my list, so it almost made my top 10. I recognize how great John Hughes is, and some of his best script writing is in this movie, but because it's all talk. But it's not exactly my tempo. It's almost my tempo, but it's not quite. All right, so the next title that I recognized is a movie that I don't remember at all. That's Fast Forward.
I don't think I ever saw it.
But do you recognize the title? Don't you recognize the title Fast
No, he's
Forward?
blank for me.
You don't recognize it at all? For some reason, I remember the song that goes with the movie more than I remember the movie. There's a song, the title song, Fast Forward. Fast Forward. And I'll play a clip of the song because it's the only thing that I remember about the movie. But I don't.
There's a world I want to see, not the one I hear that it should be. Fast forward, where I stop, nobody knows, no telling just how far I go. Moving fast forward.
I don't remember anything else about the movie, but it definitely came out in '85. So I'm glad it's fine. It could be a 0 for everybody. All right,
Because I don't know it either.
Here another and the next movie that people might remember is a movie called Into the Night with Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer. Anybody remember Into the Night from 1985?
I remember it, but I never saw it.
I kind of recognize the title.
Yeah, I recognize the title and the cast, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay, yeah, just Michelle Pfeiffer will come up a bunch of times. Jeff Goldblum will come up again, I think, in this year too.
They work together a lot.
And it's called a comedy thriller. It's one of those titles that I remember the title, but I don't really remember seeing it. A movie that got a lot of critical acclaim is another title that I don't recognize, and that was called The Mean Season, and that has Kurt Russell and Mariel Hemingway in it. Two actors that we definitely recognize those actors' names, and you would think that you would think we would remember this movie, and I only remember the title, but I don't remember seeing it. I'm gonna bet that none of you have seen this movie.
I've never seen this movie.
No, yeah, I haven't.
I don't think so.
It's critically acclaimed. That's the only reason that I mentioned it. All right, so the next movie is this one lives on Nostalgia Boulevard for me, and that is Turk 182.
I remember seeing that.
I love that movie.
Cari really likes this movie. This almost made her top 10 list.
And it was filmed in Jersey.
Yeah, it's a good movie, and I'll be honest, I know I've seen it, but I know I haven't seen it in a very long time. I'm probably overdue to rewatch it, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember bits and pieces of it. I know how it ends, but I don't remember it enough to know every part of it. I don't really like it that much. It's pretty good. It's kind of like a everyman hero. He's kind of like, what is he, like a vigilante?
Yeah, he's a vigilante.
And
but in a good way, not like evil.
No, well, obviously he's a good vigilante. I mean, he's out there
spreading the word.
Right. He's fighting a good fight for the little guy.
Fighting the good fight.
Right. Timothy Hutton, Robert Urich, and Kim Cattrall were all in this movie. Action, comedy, drama. Wow, that's a lot of genres for this movie. But again, that's for me, that one lives on Nostalgia Boulevard. Here's another one for me that the title is more important than the movie itself, and that's called Vision Quest with Matthew Modine. This was a wrestling movie. I don't know if anybody remembers Vision Quest.
I've seen it. I didn't like it.
I do remember Vision Quest, and I have seen it, but I haven't seen it in a long time.
See what I'm saying? This is going to happen through a lot of this. There's going to be titles that we remember, but movies that we don't remember, because this movie here is not as we're already off to a terrible start. This movie here is nowhere near as good as it looks like it is on the surface. All right, so let's just we're going to power through here. The next one I have on my list is a movie called Finnegan Begin Again. This one I'm positive that I have seen, and I don't really remember much of it. I'm not even going to bother. I don't think anybody else has seen this movie, but I do remember liking it when I saw it. It's a romantic comedy. And
I've seen that movie.
Oh, with Mary Tyler Moore and Robert Preston. Anybody else seen Finnegan Begin Again?
No.
Sounds familiar.
Right, the title sounds familiar. Okay, so the next one on the list is a movie that I'm pretty sure, I think Edward has seen this movie. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. And that is The Purple Rose of Cairo from Woody Allen.
Yeah, both Ronnie and I have seen it. I know the reason why I have seen it was because a part of it was filmed in a diner in South Amboy, the town I grew up in, that was like literally right up the street from me.
That's cool. Now you know this title, Cari, but
so it was one of those movies where I had to see it. So
that's cool. I know every time there's like a connection to your hometown or something, place that you're gonna want to see it just for that. But have you ever heard of or seen The Purple Rose of Cairo from?
I think I've seen it with you.
We saw it together. I don't remember watching this with you.
Not like going to the movies or something like that.
We may have seen it at home. Yeah, maybe it's possible. I have tried to show Cari a lot of Woody Allen's before he got canceled.
Canceled or not, I've never really liked it.
No, I know. I think Woody Allen's a genius. We've parsed over Woody Allen before. I'm not going to rehash my Woody Allen thoughts, but this is one where he is in it. Wait, is he even in it? I don't think he's in this movie at all. I don't think Woody Allen actually has a role in this movie.
Yeah, I don't remember him being in the film.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a while, but I don't remember him.
Yeah, Mia Farrow and Jeff Daniels and Danny Aiello are in this movie. And Mia Farrow is married to Danny Aiello, and she goes to the movies and she falls in love with Jeff Daniels, a movie actor up on the screen. And he recognizes her. He looks out into the audience from the movie screen and can see her and interacts with her and steps off the movie screen into real life. So it's a real fantasy kind of movie, and it was never, not like it never had been done, but it was rarely had been done like that. It was some place that scripts hadn't gone before, like an actor or whatever, a performer stepping off the screen into real life was very new and something that really has rarely been done in movies.
Not really, except The Last Action Hero, wasn't it?
Right. That was the next time that anybody really did that in a movie in a big way. Was yeah, I can't remember an actor, whatever, a movie where somebody steps off the movie screen into real life other than The Last Action Hero. Can you, Edward?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, No, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, unless you want to count Roger Rabbit, but
They don't really step off the screen
you
into,
know,
into real life, though.
no,
No,
they don't. But I mean, we are talking about something
no, I get it. No, I understand what you're
that wouldn't
saying.
have be normal in a real life situation. So I'm just trying to come up with something.
Okay. All right. So the next title, Carrie's going to recognize because it has one of her favorite actors in it, and that is a movie called The Sure Thing. And this stars one of Carrie's main men, John Cusack. First time John Cusack's coming up on the movie that was 1985.
Yes, I love him very much so, and I follow him on Twitter or X now. X, right? It's X now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you remember the movie The Sure Thing? Edward?
I remember the title, and I remember him being in it, but I'm almost certain I've never seen it.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's one I don't remember what happens in it either, but so a lot of these John Cusack movies from this era, they all kind of, I don't know, they're derivative of each other. They're all kind of the same movie. Although this one was directed by Rob Reiner. So
Anthony Edwards is in this movie too.
oh yeah, I see Anthony Edwards has got a screen credit in this too, and so does Tim Robbins.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, so we've got some people in this cast. Huh. Okay.
It's actually a pretty good cast.
All right, that's pretty good. Ghoulies is a terrible movie from this year, but it's a notable title, so I'm just mentioning it. There was a Mission in Action sequel. That's who's that? That's Chuck Norris.
Terrible movie.
Right. Also not a movie that I like.
Me either.
All right, so then the next movie is one of the big movies from this year is may or may not be on Carrie's top 10, and that is Mask.
It's not on my top 10, but it was for a little bit.
Yeah, it was briefly on Carrie's top 10, so she rethought it, and but it's on her honorable mentions from 1985.
Is that the one with a Cher and Eric Stoltz that has the large head, like he has Elephant Man syndrome?
Yeah, elephantitis. Yeah, that's the movie. Yes, with Cher and Sam Elliott and Eric Stoltz.
Yeah. Right.
So this was the movie that Eric Stoltz wound up being in 1985, and we will talk about the other movie that he was almost in a little bit later. But yeah, not my tempo. Peter Bogdanovich directed this movie. He's a famous director from this time period, and I shouldn't say I don't like this movie. I guess I kind of do. It's difficult to watch. Same thing with the Elephant Man. It's both of it. They're difficult characters to look at.
Yeah, they are. It's a hard story. I think for me, what I do like about it most of all is the performances. I mean, I can't doubt Cher or Eric Stoltz.
Yeah,
even Sam Elliott was good in it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the performances are what really drives that film. It's a hard material, but it's a performance-driven movie.
Yeah, I don't have any other like clips or moments from it that really stand out. For me, doesn't he fall in love with is this the one where he falls in love with the blind girl?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and is that Laura Dern? That may be young Laura Dern.
I think Laura Dern, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's her.
It
I think
is.
a young Laura Dern is in this movie. So is Estelle Getty. So it has some people that we recognize in this movie, even though I don't remember all of it. This one's gonna be on Nostalgia Boulevard for me.
Well, it was the first movie I'd ever seen that dealt with somebody dying.
Oh yeah. Well, you hadn't seen a movie that had people dying in it before?
10. No.
Okay.
Not really.
All right.
But it was, you get spoiler alert or whatever, but you get completely invested in him as a character, and then he dies at the end, and it's like earth shattering when you're a 10-year-old.
Well, I don't know. I saw Bambi before this movie, so
no, that's nothing.
That's a character who dies in a
Mom's
movie
there for 5 seconds.
All right.
You don't get invested in her.
All right, that's fair. That's a fair point. Okay, so Albert Brooks writes and directs and stars in a movie that I thought was going to be higher on my list. It makes my honorable mentions from this year, and that is a movie called Lost in America. Anybody Lost in America? I leave it open it up to the floor.
But I don't really remember it.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh wow! Have you heard of it? Have you heard of Lost in America?
Heard of it, yes, but I'm almost certain I've never seen it.
Wow.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it at all, really.
Okay, so
I've seen it.
Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty are a married couple, and Albert Brooks gets passed over for a promotion at his advertising firm, whatever, where he makes $100,000 a year, and this is 1985. And right, he gets passed over for a promotion, so they have got like a nest egg built up from all the years that he's been working there. So they decide to drop out of society and travel across the country in this RV, right? And on their way across country, they stop in Las Vegas, and Julie Haggerty loses all their money in Vegas in one night in Vegas. And they've got to decide how to survive now that she's lost all their money.
You had understood the nest egg principle, as we will now call it, in the first of many lectures that you will have to get. Because if we are to ever acquire another nest egg, we both have to understand what it means. But you didn't understand it, and that's why we're where we are.
Understood the nest egg.
Well, please do me a favor. Don't use the word. You may not use that word. It's off limits to you. Only those in this house who understand nest egg may use it, and don't use any part of it either. Don't use nest, don't use egg. If you're out in the forest, you can point. The bird lives in a round stick. And you have things over easy with toast. Oh, gee. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to give you a small punishment before lunch, and I'd like to have you write 1,000 times on the pavement. I lost the nest egg. Come on, I lost the nest egg. Say it first. Say it 500 times. I lost the nest egg. 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 I'm starting for you. You jump in anywhere. I lost the nest egg. 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 I lost the nest egg.
There's a great scene. There's going to be a clip from this movie in this podcast. There's a great scene in this film where Albert Brooks is talking to the pit boss from the casino, and he's played by Frank Marshall. And you would recognize Frank Marshall. He's a director he's a famous director. What? No, Gary Marshall, not Frank Marshall. Gary Marshall, the guy who directed Happy Days. And was involved in, all those ABC shows. He is the pit boss in this movie. And Albert Brooks goes up to him and tries to convince him to give him back the money that Julie Haggerty has lost at this casino in one night. Right? It's a great, great scene where he's an advertising man, right? So he tries to use his experience as an advertiser to create a commercial where they give the money back, right? And it's so funny, this little song that he comes up with, and I'll play the clip of it here. It's just so really freaking funny.
As the boldest experiment in advertising history, you give us our money back. I beg your pardon? Give us our money back. Think of the publicity. The Hilton Hotels has these billboards all over Los Angeles where the winners of these slot machine jackpots, their faces are all over L.A., and I know that works. I've seen people at corners look up and say, maybe I'll go to the Hilton. Well, you give us our money back. You gave my wife and I our money back because you reviewed our situation and you realized that we dropped out of society and we weren't just gamblers and we made a mistake and you gave our money back. Do you know you couldn't get a room in this place for 10 years? So what do you think?
I don't think the sign's going to work and giving by...
The sign is wrong. The sign is wrong. A jingle. A television campaign. The Desert Inn has heart. The Desert Inn has heart. The Desert Inn has heart.
I really love this movie. This probably should have been a little bit higher on my list. I'm going to give it serious thought to maybe even sneaking this onto my top 10. But Lost in America, definitely one of my notable honorable mention movies from 1985. So now this was the first surprise that I got from when I went over this with you, Edward, was that you don't have a Friday, even though there is a movie from both series, you don't have a Friday the 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street on your top 10 list or even your notable mentions from 1985. And the first one we're going to talk about is Friday the 13th, A New Beginning, that came out in 85. And we're going to talk about it just because you don't like it. And it's the first time that one of these movies doesn't even make it onto your list.
Yeah, I mean, I watch these movies and I do watch even the bad ones religiously. But part 5 is easily one of the lowest of the movies in the entire franchise, and I think mainly because it they had killed off the character of Jason for the first time, and he's back, and there's a mystery whether somebody else is doing it. And they pull a very quick, fast one at the end where a character you met for like 3 seconds at the beginning of the movie ends up being Jason. And it was a really just a poor, poor entry, and everybody hated it.
Wow. Okay. Like I said, I only mention it because this is the first time that it doesn't make it onto your top 10 list, which I'm happy about. Listen, I'm fine not talking about Friday the 13th. It's fine with me. Okay, so the next movie that originally, when Cari heard the title, she said, "Oh yeah, that one's got to be on my top 10 list." And then we went back and we rewatched it because it had been a long time since we had seen it. And we realized that not only does it not deserve to be on the top 10 list, it was one of the worst movies we'd seen in a really long time.
It was horrible.
The movie
even where I remember even a little bit of it, it was so terrible. The acting was terrible. The scene setups were terrible. It was just like trying to recapture everything from the first Porky's.
Right. We're talking about Porky's Revenge. I'm sorry I didn't mention that earlier, but that was the movie that we're talking about. Porky's Revenge was the next notable title on this list. And on first thought, when you first hear it, oh yeah, Porky's Revenge, right? It's a great sequel to a great movie. Not a good sequel to a movie. That definitely not. It's like a really, really horrible film.
And it's raunchy. It was like sex scenes just to have a sex scene. In the first opening shot, you got Pee-wee measuring himself.
It's the weakest of the three, without a doubt.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so bad. This doesn't even belong on Nostalgia Boulevard. This is awful. This is like this gets by on its name recognition alone. People don't realize this is the sequel. They might think this is the original. Maybe that's why they like it. But this is not a good movie in any way.
The original wasn't a great movie either. But, when you're young and you get to actually see all these body parts for the first time and you're seeing them on screen and your parents actually let you watch it because they didn't realize it was like, wow. Because remember, this is before NC-17, rated R, rated X, all that other crap. They didn't have any of that. It was just, there you go.
So we tried to go back and watch Porky's Revenge, and we made it through like, what was it, maybe like half an hour.
maybe it was so bad I just couldn't stand it anymore.
No, we don't like this movie. Take it off the list.
Well, I think what separates the first two films from the third film is the first two films at least tried to sneak a message in each one of those films, be it about racism or sexism or any of those things. They tried to fit something in there. The third film was just a cash grab. There was no message in it at all, even trying.
Yeah. All right, so this one, I was surprised that this is my first surprise from Cari, and she wanted this to be on her top 10 list, and it snuck onto her top 10 list right at the end, right at the bottom of her.
It's number 10.
Is it number 10?
I think so.
Yeah, it's number 10, and that is the Care Bears movie. Now, the Care Bears movie was in theaters.
Yes, I went to go see this movie. I was in. What was it? Oh my God, I can't remember.
We were 9 going on 10. So this came out in
1985.
No, I know it came out in 85. I'm saying what month it came out. It came out in March of 85. So you were still 9 years old.
Yeah.
You weren't 10 yet.
But I went on my very first date ever to this movie with a boy named Finn Gallagher, who is now, God rest his soul, passed away. But it was, I remember it completely fondly. We sat like in the second row, and his mom sat like 9 rows behind us. And I just absolutely, like, anytime the kids wanted to watch this movie, or when Zachary was little, the Care Bears weren't, everything is cyclical, so the Care Bears were not really a thing then. So I found this movie, I put it on for them, and they all loved it. I've always played it for them while they were little. Now they could care less now at their ages.
I don't remember this movie at all. I don't even remember showing it to the kids. But
I vaguely remember it, but I don't think I ever went to the movies to see it.
No, I definitely didn't go to the movies to see it. I saw it. I know I've seen it. I just don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I actually remember it being in theaters. I know that I didn't see it, but I know I remember being in theaters. So
it's because of the story attached to it that it's the main reason why it's on Cari's. That's why she remembers it so fondly, and it's a good reason for it to be on her top 10 list. But if I asked you to plot a Care Bears movie, would you remember what happens in this movie? No, it's okay to say no.
Probably not. And the sad thing is I just listened to Vin's Trilogy podcast, and they covered the Care Bears movie, and I still can't remember the plot.
Yeah, there's a trilogy podcast by a friend of ours, Vinny Berardi's. Is that what it's called? The trilogy
The
podcast.
Trilogy podcast, and it's only trilogies. They
right.
don't do anything that's
If it's
two
had
or
a
four.
right, if it's had a fourth part, they don't do it. But if it's only had 3 parts, they'll do it. And apparently the Care Bears had 3 parts, so they did
there were 3 movies.
And she still doesn't remember the plot.
And they go over it extensively too, pretty much. Bare bones, but still.
All right. We'll have to, just for nostalgia's sake, we'll have to go back and watch the Care Bears movie again, just for your sake. All right, so the next one that is also on Carrie's top 10 list, and you may definitely remember this title. Don't know how much you remember this movie, and you'll have to tell me where on the LED scale this falls up for you, is Desperately Seeking Susan.
This is not on my
What?
top.
Okay.
I remember that movie with Madonna.
Yes.
Yes. And Rosanna Arquette.
I remember it.
And Aidan Quinn. And Laurie Metcalf. And Will Patton. And Peter Maloney. And Stephen Wright even has and John Turturro all have bit parts in this movie. Edward, how do you remember Desperately Seeking Susan? Where does it fall? Have you seen it?
I have seen it, and I remember watching it a lot. It was one of those staple movies like HBO would run quite often at the time when it did hit cable. But I don't really recall a ton about the movie again.
Yeah, I don't remember everything that happens in this movie either. But I do remember seeing it. I do remember most of it, I guess. I don't really, Madonna's really not my cup of tea as far as she is as an actress. So, you know, I give or take it. I guess I can give or take this movie. Why do you like this movie so much, Carrie? Do you remember why you like it?
I don't think it's on my top 10, but I don't know. I loved Madonna at the time. The story was cute.
Yeah, story was cute.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we moved
It's
it
a girly
off.
story.
Yeah, we moved it off of the we moved it off your list. Originally it was on your
Yes.
honorable mentions, and then we just took it off. So okay, so it's not. All right, I'm glad I went back and checked. But yeah, for some reason I thought it was on your list. I am. So this is Nostalgia Boulevard for me. It's a movie that we remember the title, but we don't remember everything that happens in it. It just keeps coming up over and over in this year. There was a big television movie on. Yeah, I guess it was. Was it a movie made for television? It was called King David.
I don't remember that. At
Richard
all.
Gere started.
Name.
Yeah, Richard. Well, I remember, obviously, but Richard Gere starred in it apparently. And it has a huge cast. No, it was Paramount, so it was in the movie theaters. All right, fine. Okay, so the next notable title is Police Academy 2. Edward is you're a big Police Academy guy, right, Edward?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're terrible movies, but I still love them.
You still watch them.
I remember everything that happens in this movie. I've seen this one a lot, actually. How often, Carrie, where are you on Police Academy 2?
I love this movie.
Oh, you do that?
I think this one is close to my top 10.
Yeah, this made your honorable mentions from 85. I'm going to pull this up real quick. Oh, I just had it. I lost it. Here it is.
I think for me, what it is, I mean, the plot of every Police Academy movie is essentially the same, but you know, it's still a lot of fun. It's like ice cream. It's still fun, you know, no matter what.
This is where we got introduced to Bobcat Goldthwait.
Yes,
he was not in the first one.
No,
he's not. He's a bad guy. He's not a cop yet. He's a bad guy in this. He is the bad guy in this, and
not the new zoo, but the old zoo.
Right, very good, right. And they pull out all the same stops from the first one with the blue. What's it called? The Blue Oyster.
Yes.
Is that the gay bar they keep the guys go to? That joke hasn't aged well. But it has a lot of really funny stuff in it, and they take the bad guy out, right? Bowser's not really the bad guy. It's a different guy. It's a different bad guy.
Yeah,
Right?
it is Mauser. They take Lieutenant Harris out.
Right. They take out Harris, right? They take out Harris out, and they replace him with a different guy. And
Replace him with the ever so funny Art Matrano.
well, yeah, it's very cool to shit on him during this film.
And it was his first major film role too.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I'm gonna look through it again. We're gonna watch it again just for the hell of it. And if I find something worth putting in the podcast, I'll put it in here. It may be good for a joke or two. I remember watching and liking this one. This was still one of the police academies that I liked.
I love the interaction between Bobcat Goldthwait and Tim Kazurinsky. I mean, they are just comedy gold.
Oh yeah, the little pipsqueak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. They
He's
become
screaming, and she's
no, him, the little kid, the little guy who's like on the little moped or whatever.
Yeah, he's got the
glasses.
glasses.
You'll remember when we see it.
I remember.
He's this little mousy little guy.
Yeah.
And this guy Bobcat just tortures this guy. This is really horrible, but you'll see it. It's funny.
Give it to me. Hey, boss! Business is slow. Get a new business or move out of the neighborhood.
Okay, so next up is The Slugger's Wife. Now, I like The Slugger's Wife. It's a baseball movie. Rebecca De Mornay. I love Rebecca De Mornay. It's one of my favorite actresses from this time. Her and Michelle Pfeiffer have got kind of a competition going on as to who was like the hottest actress of the time period. And
Rocks the Cradle.
right, and that comes up a few years later. That's 89 or 88. I forget which year that year is. But anyway, who's the guy who plays the main guy? This is Neil Simon. Neil Simon wrote this. Oh, I like that. And Hal Ashby. Oh, it's just some notable people. There's some notable. Michael O'Keefe is the guy who plays the guy, and he's chasing Roger Maris's home run record. That's the story of this movie, and I think he gets it in the movie. It's a fictitious breaking of the 1961 home run record by Roger Maris. And in the meantime, he's trying to maintain a relationship with Rebecca De Mornay. So he's kind of has to juggle with his romantic relationship with his baseball life. And it's good. I like it. I remember liking it. And it's probably not a classic. It probably does exist more on Nostalgia Boulevard, but it is a good movie. So where are we all on Slugger's Wife? Have you ever seen it, Karen?
But I hated it because I don't like sports movies.
Okay.
Except for seeing it.
I don't remember seeing it. I do remember the name of it.
What about you, Edward? I didn't get your take on it.
But I don't remember anything about it.
Edward, what about you?
Yeah, I have not seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen it. But I would watch it only because I like Michael O'Keefe. So I mean, I would watch it.
Have you heard of it before right now?
Probably heard of it, but I really knew nothing about it at all.
All right, so the next notable film that we'll all remember is Cat's Eye.
Cat's Eye?
Yes,
you'll remember Cat's Eye. Yeah, that's with it's a Stephen King movie.
Yes, I've seen that.
Right, and there are a couple of different vignettes all put into this film. It's kind of like Creep Show. I guess it's like a Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Trilogy of Terror, Creep Show, Tales from the Crypt. Yeah, it falls in that kind of like anthology series kind of films.
So we've got a couple of different stories here. We got Drew Barrymore's story.
Drew Barrymore. I remember that. Yes.
Okay, she owns a cat, and the parents are afraid because the cats. They're like the myth that cats will suck the breath out of little kids, right? And Drew Barrymore is actually going to be killed by this little ghoul, and the cat actually sucks the ghoul out of Drew Barrymore's mouth, right? And actually winds up saving her life instead of killing her. So I guess that's one cat story. The other cat story is with James Woods and Alan King. This was the one that really sticks out for me of all the stories that are in this movie. And that is James Woods is trying to quit. Right. James Woods is trying to quit smoking. Right. And he works for Alan King. And part of the thing is you have to quit smoking. You're not allowed to smoke and work at this company. And he signs an agreement that if he does smoke, that his wife is gonna get like he's there, like, he's gonna destroy his family or whatever, and the wife winds up getting abducted. It's fucking horrifying. Do you remember this, Care?
Yes, and I think it was horrible. But I did like the movie. I like the cat part.
I think that Alan King gets his comeuppance at the end. That's the only thing that makes this worthwhile. But yeah, so that was why I do like this. I think this movie is a good movie, but it's a horror movie. So horror movies usually aren't my cup of tea. Where are you guys on Cat's Eye? Now do you remember it?
I like the story with Drew Barrymore.
I actually like it. I do like short story horror anthology films. So you know, to me, it's a lot of it's not much investment in each story, but you get a pretty good payoff out of each one.
That's good. So I'm going to take this time to recognize that my sister Ronnie is on this podcast episode. I wasn't expecting her to be, and it's fine. I'm very happy that she's along with us, but it's kind of like we're having a double date between his wife and my wife and me.
Oh, there's a lot of movies from 1985 which are my favorite.
Okay, so I'm glad that you're with us. I'm glad you're with us, Ronnie. So
list.
I am too.
Well, your lists.
All right. So Edward gave us a top 10 list, and Cari has a top 10 list. You have to start thinking of movies that belong in your top 10 list for when we get to it. Okay.
I don't know if I can remember stuff like that, but
well, we're going over them. You're gonna have to write them down as we go over them, whether you think a movie that belongs in your top 10 list. So okay, so of the movies that we've gone over, if anything belonged in your top 10 list, write it down. By the time we're done, you should have 10 movies, hopefully. Okay, so the next one I know is one of Cari's favorite movies from this year, and that is Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
oh, I remember. Yes.
That is the best movie ever.
Sarah Jessica Parker and Helen Hunt.
Yes, and they were so fun in it.
And they were like 13 when they made that movie.
Really?
Well, they were close to our age. That's why I just like, oh my God, that's what high schoolers do. Oh my God, that's going to be so much fun when I get there.
Now, Cari's pretty far away from the microphone. Hopefully everybody can hear her okay. I know. Well, you want to be on the podcast so people can hear you talk about one of your favorite movies, yes? You could have asked us to wait a minute.
I just take my contacts out.
All right, I'll just edit that out. It's fine. But anyway, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. This is actually a fun movie. It's a chick flick, but this is fun. It's funny. I know it speaks to you because of connection with it because you identify with the characters. I don't think it's a great movie, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Just like the title suggests. That Girls Just Want to Have Fun is a very fun movie. The thing that I love about this movie is that it has a young, Jonathan Silverman is in this movie. And he has my favorite line from this film where he's getting his suit tailored. And the tailor is asking him, do you dress right or dress left? And he says, well, when I get up in the morning, my dresser is on the right. But when I go to my closet, that's on the left. So I'm not really sure. And then the tailor sticks him with a needle and he goes, left.
You dress left or right?
Well, my closet's on the left side of my bed, so I guess I dress left. Except if I have to wear something out of the hamper, because that's on the right side of the sink. Left.
Really good stuff. I really enjoy. And he also, that's where I first heard anybody ever try the Tune in Tokyo gag.
Yes.
Where you ask a girl to put her hands over her head and shift back and forth, and then you grab her tits and dial them around like you're trying to tune in a radio, and you go, tune in Tokyo, tune in, and then you get smacked in the face.
Tiffany, I was wondering, see, there's this great game called Tune in Tokyo, and I know you'd be great at it. You want to play?
Sure, I love games.
But you gotta go like this. Go beep, beep, beep. All right, now picture this. It's World War II, and our ship is going down in the middle of the Pacific, and our only hope is the shortwave radio. Tune in Tokyo. Tune in Tokyo.
I do remember that part of the movie.
I remember.
I don't know if
Edward,
I've-
how well do you remember Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Edward?
I know I've seen it, but I do not recall a damn thing about the movie.
Isn't this something? How many of these titles we remember the titles of, and we're sure we saw them, but I couldn't tell you half the things that happened in. This is one of those movies too. Yeah, I know. Okay, so this one has a really good reputation with me. I really like this movie a lot. And that is a movie called Lady Hawk. Carrie didn't recognize this title.
I've
What's it
never
called?
seen this movie.
Lady Hawk.
Oh wait, I've heard of it, but I don't remember seeing it. I might have seen it.
This stars Matthew Broderick and Rucker Hauer and Michelle Pfeiffer again.
Oh yeah.
Now, the story is that Matthew Broderick is a thief. This is, I guess, is like medieval time-ish, whatever. And Rucker Hauer turns into a wolf at night, and Michelle Pfeiffer turns into a hawk at night. They are both like cursed, and they have to defeat the bad guy in order so they could be reunited, because they can't, they love each other during the day, but at night, or vice versa, whatever. I think it's at night they love each other, but during the day they're, one of them's a wolf and one of them's a hawk, and Matthew Broderick's got to try to help bring them together. It's a fantasy movie, and I really enjoy it.
Now I remember it.
Yeah, one thing that really sticks out from me from this movie is when Matthew Broderick was talking about this with the guy from James Lipton from Inside the Actor Studio. He was talking about the first time he ever saw Michelle Pfeiffer. He was arriving on set and she was standing at a window, or vice versa, and he saw her and he thought, "Oh my God, that is the most beautiful woman that's ever lived." And that was her reputation at the time. That everything that she was in, you were getting one of the most beautiful actresses in the world to be in your movie during this time period. And I'm gonna keep track. There's a couple times we've mentioned Michelle Pfeiffer already. I think she has either won this award or has been up for this award for Actress of the Year a couple times in this podcast, and she's gonna be up for it again. I don't know if she's gonna win, but she's definitely gonna be up for it because there's a couple of notable titles that we've mentioned Michelle Pfeiffer in. And again, I like this movie a lot. I just don't remember any parts of it that I could put in the podcast. Well, I'll have to show Carrie. I'll have to show you Lady Hawk. I think you'll like it. All right, another movie that I think everybody here has seen and really likes. This has a great. This has been on HBO almost more than any other movie that we're going to talk about tonight, and that is Just One of the Guys.
Oh, one of Edward's favorites.
Yeah.
This movie.
This is on almost all three of our top tens. I know it's on I know it's definitely on my honorable mentions. It's Just One of the Guys on my top. Yeah, Just One of the Guys on my top 10.
It's number 10.
And it is, I want to say it's on yours, but I don't see it. You didn't put it on yours.
Oh, really? I thought we did.
No, you didn't decide on putting it on your top 10. So it's on Carrie's honorable mentions. And Edward, I know it's on yours, on your top 10.
Agree.
Ronnie, is this one of your favorite movies from 85?
I like it, but I don't love it like Edward does.
Okay. So Edward, you talk about, I think it's highest on your list. So you have the floor on Just One of the Guys.
It's one of those films where, they were taking the chance of doing something, of having the old gender swapping role, a girl pretending to be a guy in school. But it just stands out as having been a lot funnier than a lot of the other ones. The cast was really good, and they really just pull it all together with some really terrific jokes.
Yeah, there are a lot of really funny jokes
and funny moments and scenes, and a good story overall.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The girl in this movie, Joyce Heiser, she wants to be a journalist, and so she switches schools and pretends to be the new kid, but she dresses up like a boy in high school, and she looks, she could pull it off, and she's very cool. She winds up being one of the cool guys in school, and she falls in love with one of these geeky guys. And it's kind of like a She's All That, where she, or whatever, Can't Buy Me Love sort of situation, where she turns the geeky kid into a hunk. And we get a Billy Zabka from the bad guy from all the movies from the 80s. I was gonna say Karate Kid, right? But all the movies from the 80s. And this is one of his more famous turns as a bad guy. I remember him saying, he gets, what happens to him? He gets humiliated in front of the whole school, and he's about to take it out on the guy who humiliates him, and his girlfriend goes, "Oh, so now you're gonna beat him up too now, right? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna beat him up now too?" And he goes, "No, I'm gonna buy him an ice cream." What else do you think I'm gonna? Of course, I'm gonna beat him up. Yeah, I'm gonna buy him an ice cream. So sarcastic. It was great.
Right now, it was a joke. People laugh, let it slide.
Stay out of this, Deborah.
Getting real bored watching you push people around.
Yeah? Well, stick around, because it's going to get real exciting.
You know, Terry was right. You are an asshole.
That asshole called me an asshole?
Oh, now you want to beat him up too, right?
No, I want to buy him an ice cream.
But the main standout from just one of the guys is the brother.
Billy Jacoby.
Her brother is so fucking funny in just one of the guys. When his mom calls and he goes, "Hey, suck your own. Eat me." Yeah, blow me, jerk off. And he hangs up the phone. He goes, "Mom says hi."
Hello? Hey, yo, scumbag. Hey, suck your own. Eat me. Hey, same to you, buttface. Mom says hi.
For bonus points, I have actually reenacted that entire phone call on the line with my mother in front of coworkers, and they were shocked.
Yeah, my mom says hi.
And they were like, "Was that really your mom?" And I was like, "Yeah," but my mom knew the movie too, so she was going line for line with me. She knew it was funny.
It is funny. My other favorite line is when he brings over a woman. Her name is Linda, and I know why I remember her name, because it's part of what's funny about the scene. And he wants to lose his virginity to Linda, and she thinks she's just coming over to do algebra, and she's about to leave, and she goes, "No, wait, don't go, please, no, I vacuum, Linda, please, don't leave." And then she's about to leave, and he goes, "Would it help if I said I was hung like a bear?" And she goes, it might, are you?" And he goes, "No, I was just checking."
Well, alone at last.
Why are you smiling like that?
'Cause it's party time. Let's dance. Let's get crazy. Let's get drunk. Let's get naked.
Buddy, I love a good party, but something about you worries me.
Linda, you're a nut. What do you like, skinny dip in the pool, back rub in the bedroom? Pick a sin. Any sin.
It's getting kind of late.
No, it's early.
Bye.
Linda, wait. For God's sake, I vacuum, Linda.
Buddy, you're a nice guy.
No, not a nice guy. That's the kiss of death.
I'll see you in algebra. Thanks for your help.
Linda, wait. Would it make any difference at all if I said I was hung like a bear?
It might. Are you?
No. Just checking.
I always love the line where he says to his sister, he's like, "The closest I got to getting laid was a girl taking her top off to seduce my sister."
That's a classic too. I love that line too.
Mom and Dad come home Monday. I've had 2 weeks of total freedom. The closest I've come to sex was a girl who took her top off to seduce my sister. What's wrong with me?
Not a thing. Listen, sex is not that big a deal.
I'd like to form my own opinion.
This is a great, this is actually probably not a great movie, but it's so fun. It's one of the most fun movies I've ever seen, in relationship to how good it is. And like I said, this has probably been on HBO like 10,000 times. I did not see this in the movie theater. I saw it on cable many times.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so where are we? Let's find the next one. The next title I remember is a movie called Gotcha with Anthony Edwards and Linda Florentino, but I don't remember anything that happens in it. I just remember the title.
I remember the movie.
You do remember what happens in Gotcha? I don't remember anything that happens in this movie.
I don't know.
Do you remember anything about Gotcha, you guys?
No.
I don't even know
The title? You didn't recognize the title at all?
movie. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's Anthony. Like I said, it's
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's an Anthony Edwards movie, and it's kind of funny. It's an action comedy. It's It's not very good, but it's I do remember seeing it in the movie theater. So the next notable title is Private Resort. And the reason that I bring this up is because it has a couple of people in it that I recognize, that you'll recognize, as Rob Morrow from Northern Exposure is in this, as well as Johnny Depp.
Private Resort was a good movie.
It was. I don't think it was a good movie. It was
Yes, it
probably
was.
funny, and it was probably like a sex comedy.
Well, Johnny Depp was on.
Vaguely recognize the name.
Yeah, it was like they were. It was like they were two guys who were bellhops or like towel boys at a resort, and they just try to, get girls in the bed or see naked girls the whole movie. That's really what it was. It was just kind of like a watered down Revenge of the Nerds.
Not really like a Revenge of the Nerds thing.
But it was kind of like, it was just like a romp. It was like a sex comedy.
Yeah.
Like Hard Bodies.
Yeah, but those were like the best comedies back then.
I guess the best.
Well, when you were a kid, yeah.
For then it was. I don't think it is now looking back at it, but certainly hasn't aged well.
No.
A couple of guys running around a hotel just trying to see naked girls is not politically correct anymore.
No. Half of these movies, more than half of these movies would not make it nowadays.
Okay, so the next title is Brewster's Millions.
I love this movie. So much fun.
How well do you guys remember Brewster's Millions?
I remember it fairly well. I was at the time, obviously Richard Pryor was on a very hot streak in movies, and it was kind of like required viewing, because if you like Pryor, you needed to watch Brewster's Millions.
I think this is a great premise where a guy's got to give away however many millions of dollars that he has to give away in a certain time period. And then he winds up inheriting a huge fortune if he can manage to give away all this money without having anything to show for it at the end. And he winds up running for mayor. So he throws a lot of it away on his political campaign, a campaign he has no intention of winning. He throws parties. He has a huge entourage. He gets bodyguards. He buys these really expensive stamps and then uses the stamp on a letter just for no reason, just so he can get rid of the money. And it was ingenious how fast Richard Pryor's character adapted to the situation. You know what I mean? It was like a what would you do kind of movie if you had to spend all this money in a certain amount of time. And he's charming, actually. Richard Pryor didn't really ever strike me as a very charming character. He was more funny than anything else. But I think this is one of his more charming roles. And the movie gets by on his charm more than anything else, I think. And it's...
This is the real deal. It is indeed, Mr. Brewster.
Now let's not be rash with our newfound money.
Right. Jake, I'd like to hire you as my official photographer. Salary $10,000 a week.
$10,000 a week? This guy's a jerk, Ronnie.
Shut up, I accept. Hey, hold still for the camera, Mr. Brewster. Not bad for a guy who didn't finish his first year of college, wouldn't you say? I'd like to get $3 million in cash now to take it with me.
What is it, $3 million? You know how much money $3 million in cash is? You don't walk around the street with $3 million in cash. You need an army of security guards.
The man's right. What do they pay you here? About $350 a week before taxes. You can't live on that. This is a dangerous job. I'll pay you $2,000 a week to be the chief of my security.
No.
Oh, yes, that's wrong. Okay, $4,000 a week. And you get 20 other guys, and I'll pay them $3,000 a week.
Here's the point, Mike.
Now go in there and get the $3 million and follow me. Yes, sir. Everybody follow me.
You spend the money.
It's a good watch. If anybody hasn't seen Brewster's Millions, I think you'll enjoy it. Cari really likes the movie a lot.
It would be hard to spend 30 million nowadays.
Oh, right. It'd be easy, right? But in 85, it was some. So, all right. The next notable title was Rambo: First Blood Part 2. I remember the title, but I don't remember ever seeing this movie at all.
Oh, I definitely have.
I know the name. I don't know if I actually saw the whole thing.
Do you remember any of the Rambos, Cara?
I remember a little bit of them, but I mean, they're all the same dang movie anyway, right?
I couldn't tell you the difference between Rambo 1 or any of the other parts.
The thing with Rambo First Blood. Oh, I can honestly, but the thing is I can tell you right now, with the first movie, it's more of a drama than it is an action film, and in the second one, they really dropped a lot of the drama and went, let's go super action, as bloody as we can make it. And
wasn't this one of those movies that had the record for most people killed in a single movie for a long time?
Yeah.
I think that's what this movie's reputation is, that they killed so many people in the same movie.
Jesus.
I think that's what it was. It had the record for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Hot Shots Part 2 made fun of breaking that record. Like they did it as a spoof. They had a counter on the screen, and they wound up breaking the Rambo Part 2 record of most people killed in a movie.
Yeah.
No, Kill Bill.
No, I don't think even Kill Bill Part 1 didn't kill as many people. I know that 88 people died in the 88. No, they didn't all die. I was thinking we'll talk about Kill Bill. No, we did talk about Kill Bill Volume 1.
I think it was Volume 2 more people died, wasn't it?
No, it was Volume 1 because the crazy 88s that she had to try to kill at the end of Part 1. But that's a different movie. But yeah, that was. So I think that was this movie's. I think that was this movie's reputation, was how many people died in it. Was a record for a long time. But like I said, this was Sylvester Stallone's movie. I should mention that he was the star of this film, all these movies. For anybody who doesn't know the Rambo series, not my tempo. And we're going to move on to one of Edward's top 10s. We haven't gotten to a lot of top 10s for you, Edward, but this movie made your top 10 list. And that was the James Bond movie from this year. Probably, I know Ronnie's, if I remember right, I think Ronnie's a big James Bond fan too, right, Ronnie?
Of course.
Yep.
So A View to a Kill was from 1985.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that's my James Bond there. That was the first James Bond I had seen in a theater. It was one of those things where it stands out, and it introduced me at least to Christopher Walken. So I really enjoyed it for a lot of the reasons for that.
Does Christopher? I'm gonna go back and watch that one because I love Christopher Walken. I love the way he talks. He's the bad guy?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Okay, so I'm wondering, there's got to be some like monologue or like some moment some piece of dialogue that I can put in from Christopher Walken from A View to a Kill.
Project Main Strike, for which each of you will pay me $100 million. $100 million? Plus half our net income under an exclusive marketing agreement with me.
These are outrageous terms.
Well, perhaps a demonstration would convince you. I want no part of it, thank you. As you wish. The rest of our discussion must, of course, be confidential. Would you wait outside? If you'd like me to, yes. Excuse So, does anybody else want to drop out?
He's got that very easily imitatable voice.
Yes, a lot of people do make fun of him.
Yes.
I love it. I love the way he talks. I think it's so distinctive. All right, so we're gonna keep going. One day we'll rank the James Bond movies, but that's for another. I'm sure. Yeah, I will definitely invite you in for that one, Ronnie. But that's a different episode. You'll have to make your list and make sure that one is better than two, and so on and so forth. Okay. So the next movie is Fletch with Chevy Chase. This is the first time we're talking about Chevy Chase this year. He's going to come up again in two other movies.
Goldie Hawn.
I'm sorry?
Goldie Hawn was in that, right?
No, that's a different movie.
So it seems like old times.
Oh, okay.
That seems like old times, right? That's not. I don't think that's not from this year.
No.
But Fletch, he's like a reporter, and he's like an investigative reporter, and he kind of like bullshits his way from scene to scene, where he kind of like takes on different personalities so he can get into these different. You guys remember the title, but how well do the three of you remember Fletch?
I remember it a little bit.
Edward?
I can honestly say I don't remember much of it, mainly because I'm in the minority and did not enjoy the Fletch movies.
Right. I remember we talked about Fletch Lives in the sequel to this movie, and you mentioned it then that you weren't a big Fletch guy. I'm not really a big Fletch guy either. I like the later Chevy Chase movies where he's kind of like he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, but he's actually not. I like those movies better than he actually is the smartest guy in the room in these movies. He's a smart aleck, but he actually is the smartest guy. He's getting one over on everybody in movies like this, especially in this movie. And I like him better in the National Lampoon's movies where he's the average everyday fool.
Yeah, I agree to that for sure.
But big, really, really funny term. People who love Chevy Chase, this is one of their favorites.
Nugent. Ted Nugent.
Now, how long have you had these pains, Mr. Barber?
No, that's Babar.
2 B's?
1 B. B-A-B-A-R.
That's 2.
Yeah, but not right next to each other. I thought that's what you meant.
John who?
John Cocktoast,
It's a beautiful name.
Well, it's Scotch Romanian.
It's an odd combination.
Yeah, well, so are my parents.
And I'm sorry, who are you again?
I'm Frida's boss.
Who's Frida?
My secretary.
Isn't there a children's book about an elephant named Babar?
I don't know. I don't have any.
No children?
No elephant books.
The club?
No, I'm not. I'm with the Underhills.
They are left, senor.
That's all right. They'll be back. He went out for his urinalysis.
Would you like some drink, senor? While you wait, I will put it on the Underhill's bill.
Yes, very good. I'll have Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please. Say, you know, my kidneys feel a lot better in this position. Maybe it's just that I'm not doing any calisthenics. You know, if I did some sit-ups in the morning or bent over like this, I'd probably feel 100% better. Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time? As a matter of fact, you using the whole fist, Doc?
Just relax.
You're serious? Ask anybody. Can I ask anybody now? How about, can I call my mom, tell her how much I love her? Can I borrow your towel for a sec? My car just hit a water buffalo.
Oh, all this goes on the Underhill's bill.
Yeah, well, I saved his life during the war.
You were in the war?
No, he was. I got him out.
Of his, I know Keith loves Fletch. Probably if I were to ask him what's his favorite movie from this year, this would be on it. From 1985. All right, and so now that we've commenced with the preliminaries, let's get to the main event, shall we? The reason why my wife wanted to be on the movie year that was at all, and the reason that she asked me what year did this particular movie come out so that I could do that episode of the movie year that was, is upon us. We are finally there. It has arrived. We are here finally. All right, and this is this has been a long time coming. I've been doing this podcast for over a year now, like a year and a half now, and ever since I've been doing this, Cari has wanted to talk about this movie, and which is the main number one reason why we are doing the movie year that was 1985, and that is the movie Goonies that came out on June 1st of 1985. And now, since it is higher on her list than anybody else's on this podcast, Cari gets to talk first about why she loves Goonies, and it is her favorite movie of all time. Go ahead, Cari. You have the floor on Goonies.
Okay. Wow, such a drum up for that. Goonies was like like the best kids movie. My friends and I would sneak into the West End movie theater. So much so to the point where, because we lived right around the corner from it, they would just let us in. We saw it about 65 times in the theater. And it was great because we lived by the ocean. So, you know, we would try to look in the rocks and stuff. Oh, maybe there's something here. Yeah, no. And it was quite dangerous to do that, but still, we just absolutely loved it. I can still quote every single solitary word from this movie. The kids will absolutely not watch it with me. And Chris is constant with the movie quotes while we're watching a movie sometimes, a movie that he's well versed in. And it annoys me until we watch Goonies and then I see what it is.
Right. This is the one movie where Cari could go line for line with me on all the different lines from the movie. She knows the entire movie by heart. Now, people who know me know that there are a lot of movies like that for me, where I'm just watching the movie and I will randomly say the line right before the person in the movie says the line. And Cari could do that through this entire film. What is your favorite? What did you have a favorite part of Goonies?
When they actually first see the pirate ship after they come out the slide, that is an actual real reaction. Richard Donner would not let them into where they were building the pirate ship at all. So he wanted 100% real reaction. Even though there's a huge part they cut out of that, the octopus would not work correctly. Even though there's parts of it, Ki Huan Kwan, when he's talking to the reporters at the very end, he says the octopus was very scary.
How'd you get to know? What happened out there? Were your lives in danger? The octopus was more scary. Yeah, it was.
And but when the movie was out, people were like, the octopus, what are they talking about? And then they had cards, trading cards. It was one of the first movies that had trading cards, and they put the octopus in there, and they put on the back of the card that due to malfunctions with it, they couldn't get it right for the shot. So, you know, most of it was like the kids wrestling with the octopus, and you could see them pretty much like, oh wait, the arm fell off my shoulder, hold on, I gotta lump it back onto my shoulder, and like trying to wrestle with this thing, and it just wasn't
I think that Corey Feldman saves Martha Plimpton in that scene, right? That was supposed to be
why she kisses him,
right? Because they had been kind of like at odds during that movie, right? They were like making, and so he winds up saving her life in that moment. So that was like some character building. It's really a flaw of the movie that they kept that line in there about how the octopus was really scary, even though they cut out that scene. But now the story of that is become part of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a charming mistake that the movie made, that even though they didn't have an octopus in it, that they mentioned it in the movie. And so it became part of the legend of the movie.
And the cast members are still extraordinarily close. They did... During COVID, they had a lot that podcast that Josh, what's his name?
Peck?
No, not
Peck.
Josh Peck.
I know what you're talking about.
The kid, the guy that's the snowman in Frozen.
Dak, yeah.
Yeah. He did a podcast, he did movies, and he had all the actors from those movies.
Yeah, reunions. Remember the online reunions.
The reunion podcast, I think it was.
I don't know if it was a podcast, but there was a bunch of different ones on.
Well, that's what they called it.
Oh, okay.
And
but he had these Zoom reunions.
Yes.
You remember these?
I do.
Right, and I think one of the first ones was Goonies.
Yeah, they had the entire cast who all still talk. Ki Huan Kwan, who had just won his first Academy Award. He called the first person he called was Josh, who played Chunk in the movie, because he's his entertainment lawyer. Jeff Cohen, not Josh. Jeff Cohen is his entertainment lawyer, and he was the first person he called. Everybody pretty much from the Goonies cast had called him right away. So they're really still tight knit, which I think is kind of cool, because most movies they really can't say that.
Okay, so Edward, you're up next.
Yeah, it's close, yeah.
Edward, what's your relationship to Goonies?
I have seen it a number of times and I do like it, but I don't feel like I have the love for it that so many other people do. And I know a lot of people just like Cari loves this movie and it's their favorite movie ever. To me, it's a take it or leave it movie. If it's on, I'll watch it, but I never really actively I never actively look for it, buy it on DVD or watch it, because I feel like watching it. But I just don't have the same love for it that a lot of other people do. And not that that makes it a bad movie, just I don't necessarily have that love for it as other people do.
All right, Ronnie, you're up next. What about you about Goonies? Where does it fall for you?
Well, for me, I like it. It's a cute movie. I will watch it anytime it comes on TV. It's just like one of those fun movies. I no longer can quite quote a lot of those lines, but once I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I thought the cast was great, and like I said, it's just a fun movie.
Now, something that Cari mentioned that really struck me, that this is really like a wish fulfillment kind of movie. Like it's something you wish would happen to you when you were that age. And a lot of us were around the same age as these kids were during this movie. So it was so much of a escapism kind of movie where you can go to the movie theater. I remember seeing this in the theater and just being like, oh my God, I wish something like that would happen to me. Where I could find a treasure map and find all to go on this incredible adventure and, find this gold and be rich and all that. So there's a lot of that. A lot of the sentimental nostalgia for this film comes from the want to live this movie, the want to be, you know what I mean? I want this movie to happen to me. I wish that this had happened to me when I was a kid is probably the predominant thought when it comes to this movie. The other thing that really strikes me with this movie was that this was the movie that I would have figured would have been made into an amusement park ride.
Absolutely.
I'm so surprised they didn't base a amusement park ride off of the Goonies.
Even a water slide.
Why didn't they? Why didn't they make Goonies the ride at any of the amusement parks ever?
Well, it wasn't owned by Disney then.
So it doesn't have to be. Six Flags could have done it. I mean, there's a million different places that could have had a Goonies themed ride.
Yeah, but Six Flags didn't have a water area. They had the log flume, but they didn't go on
The Roaring Rapids place could have had a Goonies ride or whatever. Universal could have done it. It didn't have to be owned by Disney. Anybody could have done it. They could have done it in California. Why do you think that they never? Wouldn't it have been amazing, Edward, if they had had a Goonies the ride?
Yeah, I honestly think it would have probably been a really good replacement for Universal's ET ride. I mean, once they took that down, following up with something similar that was fun and family oriented.
Just imagine going on that adventure. You have to go to the basement. You got to go
Goonies
down
ride
the tunnel. You gotta avoid the falling rocks. You gotta play the piano to get the bridge to come down. You gotta go down that huge slide and dump into the water and all that and see the pirate ship. It's great. It's like a really fun adventure to go on. And I wish that somebody had made Goonies the ride. It was like a no-brainer just sitting out there that nobody ever thought of.
My stepmother's father, I always called him grandpa anyway, but he was a music teacher. So he had a piano in his house, and every time we went there, I would beg him to teach me how to play things on the piano and these notes in particular.
Oh, right. There's that one line where she says, is it A sharp or B flat? And then Sean Astin says, if you get this wrong, we'll all be flat.
I give up. It's A sharp or if it's a B flat. If you get the wrong note, we'll all be flat.
And of course, anybody who knows the piano knows that A sharp and B flat are exactly the same note. But it's still a funny line from the movie. The funniest line for the movie, all the funniest lines in the movie comes from Chunk.
Yeah.
The truffle shuffle at the beginning.
Yes. First you gotta do the truffle shuffle. Come on. Do it. Come on. Do it.
I have on my keys.
Right. The part where he's about to get his hand blended off. What, Ronnie? What?
Confession scene.
Right, the confession scene, right, with the blender, right, the scene with the blender where he almost gets his hand blended off. Yes, I want to play the violin.
Too young. No, I want to play the violin. Not my hand.
Oh God, this is horrible. I go up to the balcony with a bucket of puke out of my jacket, and I pour it over the side. And I go, hoo-ah, hoo-ah.
But the worst thing I ever done, I mixed up all this fake puke at home, and then I went to this movie theater, hid the puke in my jacket, climbed up to the balcony, and then I made a noise like this. And then I dumped it over the side. I had all the people in the audience, then this was horrible. All the people started getting sick and throwing up all over each other. I never felt so bad in my entire life.
I think I like this kid.
Oh, I kicked my sister down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog.
In third grade, I cheated on my history exam. In fourth grade, I stole my Uncle Max's toupee and I glued it on my face when I played Moses in my Hebrew school play. In fifth grade, I knocked my sister Edie down the stairs and I blamed it on the dog.
funniest part. That's the funniest part of the movie.
I
Now,
think so too.
right? I think that's definitely the funniest part. It's a really, I'm gonna say, hot Josh Brolin in this movie when he was really young, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to be Carrie Green for Christmas, and my mom wouldn't let me.
Oh, right. Cary Green is attractive in this movie too. So.
Look at my body. Don't I have a beautiful body? Don't I have a beautiful body? I have a beautiful body. How many more years do I have before I go? Before my hair falls out? Before I look like him?
And I wanted to be like the cheerleader. They had her costume when we went to the, the JJ Newberry's or whatever it was at the time, but it was like a cheerleader costume, and it was Andy's cheerleader costume.
The other thing I got to note from this movie, and we can't not talk about this, is the what you call it, the wishing well scene of this movie. It's too important to skip over. Right, Martin Sheen, right. He played Kennedy once. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our parents want the best of stuff for us because it's their time. It's their time up there, but it's our time. It's our time down here. It's one of the most quoted lines from the movie, and it's certainly the heart of the film.
Don't you realize? The next time you see Sky, it'll be over another town. The next time you take a test, it'll be in some other school. Our parents, they want the best of stuff for us. But right now they gotta do what's right for them. Because it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here. That's all over the second we ride up Troy's bucket.
Okay, so there were a couple things that I had forgotten to talk about when we were talking about Goonies. So I brought Cari back on. Edward and Ronnie aren't with us anymore. I'm going to edit this into this part of the podcast. And I wanted to bring you on back on, Cari, because I wanted to get your take on this because Goonies is your favorite movie. And the first thing I want to talk about was Corey Feldman. Now, Corey Feldman, he plays like his name, what's he, Mouth in the movie, right? So, and he, from the very beginning, he's like a smart aleck the entire time, right? As soon as he shows up at Mikey's house, he's got all these smart aleck comments. He says, he calls him Mickey instead of Mikey, and he says like Mickey Mouse, right? And then he goes right into, hey, Mikey, is it Adrian? And all that, he's constantly just cracking wise the entire time.
Hey, Mickey.
Yo, Mikey. Hey, Mikey, see Adrian?
So anyway, he's, whatever. He's messing with the maid and Spanish and all that, right? Right? He's constantly just a complete wise ass the entire time. Anyway, they have this little miniature statue of David on their kitchen table. Just, a house full of roughhousing boys. Just so that statue is just begging to be destroyed. Anyway, of course they knock it over and Chunk breaks it and everything. So anyway, so they're trying to put the statue back into order, right? They're trying to put it back together again. And the one piece on the statue of David that's fallen off is the penis, of course, right? So they're all trying to put the penis back on. Even Brad says, if God, meant you to be like that, you'll be pissing in your faces. Yeah.
Oh, you idiot. You put it on upside down.
Sure. If God meant to do it that way, you'd all be pissing in your faces.
Anyway, Sean asks, Mikey's character says,
that's my mom's most favorite piece.
Right. That's my mom's favorite piece. Now, he means it like that's her favorite piece of art. Like the whole thing is like her favorite piece of art. But they're all fumbling with the penis on this thing. And he says, that's my mom's favorite piece. So Mouth makes the smart comment, well, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't, right? And he says it totally like Groucho Marx. And he's like twisting a imaginary cigar in his hand, right? So...
Oh my God! What? That's my mom's most favorite piece. What? Oh my God!
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't.
My comment is, what are they, like 10 or 11 years old in this movie? Right, these characters?
12.
All right, so maybe they're 12 years old. All right, so let's give them 12 years old. That's still way too old a joke for them to know what the hell that means. When I first saw that movie, I had no idea what the hell they meant by, well, it wouldn't be here if it wasn't. he's making a comment like, well, your mom obviously loves dick, or else she wouldn't have fucked your dad, and then you wouldn't be here if her favorite piece wasn't the penis, right? I think that joke is way too old for him at that age.
Then you were quite sheltered because I knew exactly what they were talking
Okay, fine,
about.
but I'm saying is that I don't think Corey Feldman knew why that joke was funny. They just told him that you're making fun of his mom, and you and whatever they said to Sean Astin, he made fun of your mom, and now you want him to shut up because he made fun of your mom. I think that if he knew exactly what that meant, that somebody would have told him what that meant, and that is wrong, because there's no way that's why he should have known why that was funny. You think he should have known why that was funny? I don't think he should have known why that was funny.
I think he should have known why it was funny.
I know why Brad knew it was funny, because he's old enough to have known, but I don't think it.
Well, Brad was 17, I think.
All right, well, I was 9 going on 10, so I don't think so. Maybe that's why I didn't know why that was funny at first. But when I go back and watch that and hear him say that, I'm like, yeah, it's way too old a joke for him. That was one thing I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to mention was Martha Plimpton, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now she's probably the one farthest removed from the group in this. Like she's
Andy's best friend.
Right, she's Annie's best friend, and that's the only reason that she's even part of this. And she has like 3 line reads in this movie that are probably the best of Martha Plimpton's entire career. One is the one from the previews, actually in the previews, where she says, "Oh, I feel like I'm babysitting, but I'm
not getting paid."
Right, she feels like I'm babysitting, but I'm not getting paid.
This is ridiculous. It's crazy. I feel like I'm babysitting, except I'm not getting paid.
That's the one. The other one is when Andy is like gushing over Brad, and she's like, "Oh, come on, where are you? Your head is in the clouds, and we are in a basement."
Brad is being so sweet. Oh, come on! Come on! Where are you? You're in the clouds, and we are in a basement.
Right? That's the second one. But my very favorite line read that she has in this movie, and it's one of the best lines in the movie, and I forgot to mention it earlier, and it's probably the best line of read of her entire career, is when Brad moves that boulder out of the way of the tunnel, and she looks at him and she says, I'll give it to you because you know the whole movie. So what does she say? When Brad moves the stone out of that big boulder out of the way, she looks at him and she says what?
Oh, God put that rock there for a reason.
Right. Brad, God put that rock there for a purpose, and I don't think that you should move it.
Brad, God put that rock there for a purpose, and I'm not so sure you should move it.
I forgot to mention it when we were talking about
yes, and that's when the bats attack them.
Right, that's when the bats attacked them. So I wanted
rabies.
Right. Right. So I wanted to. That's actually later on when the bad guys had to encounter the bats. Right? Isn't it?
No, she says rabies.
Oh,
that's what Martha Plimpton says. When the Fratellis get there, he says, "Oh my God, they're going after my hair. Hide your hair." And that's when his brother takes his hair off.
Okay.
After earlier they were screaming about instead of getting Francis's teeth fixed.
That's later. That's a whole different thing. No. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to get your take on that part of Goonies. And now we'll go back to the rest of the podcast. All right. So that was it. So it's definitely, I'll give that away. We'll reveal where everything is in our top 10 list, but that is number 1 on Cari's list from 85.
Absolutely.
Any list from any year, all the lists of any movie Cari has ever seen of all time, that's number 1 for her.
I can always say, "Oh, I love that movie," or "Oh my God, that's one of my favorites." But no matter what I say or what have you, Goonies will always be my number 1, absolutely. And my friend Shannon, that we've known each other since we were 7, so she's always going to be my best friend no matter what. But we've always watched it, loved it, talked about it constantly. Between that and Monster Squad, that was our jam, so to speak.
All right, so the next notable title is a movie that I remember the title, and I do kind of remember pieces of it, but it had John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis, and that was a movie called Perfect. Ronnie might remember the title of this one. Ronnie, you remember Perfect with Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis?
Oh, vaguely, yes.
He's like a photographer. I know he's like a magazine guy, and he's like he kind of gets looped into her world, and she's kind of like caught in some drama or whatever. It's a romance between the two of them. Jamie Lee Curtis is really hot during this time period. Not my cup of tea, but too notable title not to mention. The next movie is a movie I had to go back and rewatch because it's such a great movie. Very, very notable title. Got nominated for Best Picture. I don't think anybody else in this podcast has seen this movie. Maybe one other person has, but this is a movie called Prizzi's Honor. Got nominated for Best Picture from 1985. You have seen it.
That had Angelica Houston
I told you
and what's his name?
Jack Nicholson.
Acton Nicholson. Yes.
Edward, where are you on Prizzi's Honor? Ever seen it?
I have seen it. Yeah, I know I haven't seen it since like cable days, but I definitely have seen it.
I went back and rewatched it, just to remember if it was better than I remember or not as good as I remember. It's better than I remember, because at first I just thought it was another mobster movie, but it's actually really good. John Huston directed this movie. Directed his daughter Angelica Houston to her first Oscar win, and I thought that she didn't deserve it for this one. I thought she deserved it more for Crimes and Misdemeanors. And the Oscars will usually do that. They'll give somebody like a makeup Oscar, like if they got snubbed for something or should have won for a different movie later on, they'll give them an Oscar. But in this case, it worked in reverse. They gave her the movie she didn't deserve for first, because Crimes and Misdemeanors doesn't come out till '89. Yeah. So it actually happens the other way.
You want to do it, Charlie? Is that what you want?
Whoa. Take it easy. What the hell, mate?
Nobody took it slower than me, Charlie. 4 years. Answer the question. You want to do it?
Well, yeah.
So, let's do it.
With all the lights on?
Yeah. Right here. On the Oriental. With all the lights on.
Prizzi's Honor suffers from the fact that The Godfather and The Godfather 2 already exist. Because if there was never a Godfather or Godfather Part 2, this movie would have a better reputation than it does. It's actually really good. And Jack Nicholson is great in this movie.
Look at yous. Been alone since Mama died. You, Padrino, you've been alone all my life. Is that what you want for me, to grow old like yous? With nothing but bodyguards that have money to keep me company, huh?
I had to go back and see whether he was nominated. I think he was nominated for Best Actor in this film. And it's really good. But you cannot escape Godfather 1 or Godfather 2 while you're watching this film. It's just a ripoff of the Godfather movies. It's a really good ripoff of it, but it's just a ripoff of the Godfather movies, and it's never going to elevate to that level. Instead of Al Pacino, we get Jack Nicholson, which is a good comp because they're both very good in their movies, both of them, Nicholson and Pacino, of course. Al Pacino does one of the greatest acting jobs ever in Godfather 2, but Nicholson does a very solid job in Prizzi's Honor. Instead of Talia Shire, we have Angelica Houston, who's playing the Talia Shire character in Prizzi's Honor. And instead of Diane Keaton, we have Kathleen Turner again coming up. And she is Nicholson's love interest for the most part in Prizzi's Honor. And basically the plot of this movie is that Nicholson sees Kathleen Turner at a wedding, of course, just like The Godfather, it opens at a wedding, and he tracks her down, and because he's so in love at first sight with her, and they have this whirlwind romance. They fall in love and get married right away before they really know anything about each other. And Nicholson learns quickly actually, soon after they get married, that she's an assassin for hire. She does all these mobster things. She's a freelance mobster, basically. She's not part of the family, but the family hires her to do outside jobs so that basically they can get away with all being at the wedding. They were all at the wedding while she was out killing somebody, basically was what happened. And Nicholson slowly learns all this as the movie is going on, but he's in love with her. So he can't kill her because he's in love with her. He married her. So, and in replacement to Marlon Brando, instead of having Marlon Brando being the Don, we have William Hickey as the Don. You remember William Hickey, Edward?
Yeah. He was in Christmas Vacation and a number of other things.
Right, I remember him. I can't think about him without thinking of Christmas Vacation, but also thinking of Forget Paris, where he's the old father of Deborah Winger, and he's in the car reading all the signs as they're driving by. Donuts, donuts, donuts. 3 guys from Greece, authentic Greek food.
Aquarium. Mattress City. Donuts, donuts, donuts. Mr. Sid's tuxedos. 6 guys from Greece. Authentic Greek food.
Anyway, he doesn't belong in this movie. I think he's totally miscast as the Don in this movie. He gets nominated. I think he gets nominated for Best Supporting Actor for this film. But he's just a watered-down version of Marlon Brando.
Amelia told me that you want to thank me for bringing you home, huh? Who else? You are blood of my blood. You're flesh of my flesh, yeah. And as long as I'm able, I'm going to think about your well-being.
So, like I said, at every turn, Robert Loggia's really good in this movie. And
But it so happens he hired my own wife and he gave her a down payment of $50,000. And my wife is sitting here next to me and she's laughing like hell. I personally think that Don found Dominic on a doorstep because Dominic is 50 times too dumb to be a police.
he replaces Robert Duvall from Godfather. So everybody is just a replacement for one of the Godfather characters, basically. So, like I said, if this movie didn't have Godfather to deal with, it would have been a much better movie. But I really, really enjoyed it.
To me, I remember the movie and I remembered enjoying it, but I really didn't remember a lot of like even the casting. You going over the casting was like, oh, that's right, he was in that movie.
The next movie that I want to talk about is Cocoon.
Oh yes, Cocoon.
Cocoon was not nominated for Best Picture. I was surprised. Because you would think that it would have been. You think that it was such a big movie from this year. Definitely one of the biggest movies from 1985 was Cocoon. Directed by Ron Howard, which I had forgotten. And it stars Don Amici and Wilford Brimley. Yeah, Wilford Brimley and Hume Cronin. Who?
Wasn't Steve Guttenberg?
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg and Brian Dennehy and Maurice Stapleton and Jessica Tandy. So a lot of I mentioned this in the Star Wars reference guide. Did you guys listen to that one?
Not yet.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet.
God, you're so-called Star Wars fans over there. But
I'm behind on everything.
Yeah, Steve Guttenberg says "May the Force be with you" in that movie, and it was the first time anybody had said it in a movie since Star Wars.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
But yeah, so now Cari has rejoined us, and we're talking about Cocoon.
Oh, I love that movie.
All right,
and it's on my top 10.
Is Cocoon? I'm gonna look at it. Let's see. Favorite years. Hold on, I gotta click on it. Cocoon is on your top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
It's my 10.
No, 10 is Care Bears movie, so it's actually 12th. So
Oh,
it just misses Cari's top 10 list. Cocoon, but we've talked about Cocoon for a few minutes. You tell how do you remember the movie Cocoon, Cari?
I liked it. It was cute. It was different. They didn't have there was not a lot of movies like that at the time. Anything, and I liked the actors in it. A lot of older actors that were in it, and I thought it was kind of cool that there was like this fountain of youth. They could, they went in the pool, and all of a sudden, instead of needing a walker or whatever, they were just chilling.
Yeah, that was a great wish fulfillment movie too. I'm sure for a lot of people that age, but I would have liked to have found that pool that had the alien pods at the bottom of it. It's a really good scene in that pool too, with the girl who winds up taking her skin off.
Yeah.
Very sexy scene between her and Steve Guttenberg in that part. I remember that scene of the movie. Thought she was really hot. That whoever that actress's name is, Tahine Welsh, is that her? I think so. Yeah, she was a model. She was a model too. Anyway, I love Cocoon also. Very well written movie. Like I said, I thought it was one of the best movies of 1985. Very surprised that it did not get nominated for Best Picture. Don Amici, I think, wins Best Supporting Actor for this film, and it's the only time he's ever I think it may have been the only time he was even nominated for an Oscar. I'm not sure about that, but I can go back and look about that. But so that was Cocoon. Now, the next movie I was not going to talk about, I was going to put it on the Also Rans, but it happens to be on somebody's top 10 list, and that is on Edward's top 10 list, and that is the sequel to The Wizard of Oz called Return to Oz. Edward, the floor is yours on Return to Oz.
Return to Oz. It's an oddity, and I'm sure a lot of people would say that it doesn't really have any right being anywhere even near the original film or anything of that nature. But I think that's one of the reasons why I actually do like it. Is it's a lot darker of a film. It is a lot closer to the novels, the original novels, which I've read. I believe most of the original novels. So in a lot of ways, it was that chance to see the original vision brought to the screen, and I really do like it that because it is a darker film.
I don't remember if I saw it.
Is this the movie that at the end the girl Dorothy turns into a boy?
No, not.
That's something else, right? I know there's some Wizard of Oz thing that where at the very end of the movie.
Wiz.
Is that the Wiz?
I think
Is that what
so.
happens at the end of the Wiz?
I think so. I don't
No, I don't think so.
That could be, yeah.
Maybe it is. I don't know. But
I
there's
haven't seen
one of
Wiz in a
those.
long time.
There's one of those where the girl changes to a boy or vice versa or whatever. But I thought that was Return to Oz. I don't really remember this movie at all. I'm sorry. I don't remember it beyond its title. I don't remember watching it. I don't really remember what happens in it. I think I did see it. I'm almost sure I saw it at the time, but I don't have any memory of it.
It's kind of an amalgam of two of the other Oz novels. But I mean, there's stuff in there that is just pure nightmare fuel.
There was a
Wheelers, the queen who is off heads.
So how do we know the lead person in this?
Oh, Fairuza Balk.
Yeah, how do we know her? From what?
From The Craft.
Yeah. Oh, right. That's where we know her from. Thank you. It was on the tip of my brain. Yeah, I remember her from. She was on the tip of my brain. Okay, she's been in she's been in a couple other things too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Billy Madison. No, not Billy Madison. The other one.
Oh, she was in Waterboy. She was in Waterboy. Yeah. And a couple.
Ronnie says The Waterboy.
Yeah, that's what we came up with that too at the same time. Okay. Oh, I was going to mention there was a television show on HBO Family, and they follow all the Wizard of Oz stories. I forget what it's called. But there was an Oz television show.
Broken Fairy Tales?
No, it wasn't Broken Fairy Tales. But there was a series, a cartoon series of the Wizard of Oz. Where I may have been called Return to Oz. I don't remember. But it was something like that. It was a cartoon series. It was on HBO Family for forever. And they took you through all the different adventures of Dorothy returning to Oz. Carrie's looking it up
They
now.
just called it The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. It was just called The Wizard of
Oh,
Oz.
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay. Well, that I do remember. So there were all those other adventures you're talking about from the novel were all in that cartoon series. That's where I know that from. I didn't really remember it from Return to Oz. Okay, so that's it for the first part of this episode. Once again, as always, we've gone too long. So we're breaking this up into two parts. A couple of quick things. First of all, I was very surprised and happy to have my sister join us in the podcast. So instead of just having 3 people on the podcast, we actually had 4 total people on the podcast, which I thought was awesome. What else? All right, so we had a couple of corrections. Well, a couple of things that I wanted. One was not a correction, but we So I said Lucas Haas. We were wondering what else he had been in his career. And before he was in Witness. We had actually talked about Witness earlier in the podcast. Oh no, I'm sorry. That was why we brought him up. Or, I'm sorry, we brought him up because of Witness. Anyway, he was in the movie Solar Babies. The next year, he was in Lady in White, a movie that freaked me out. And then he's in Leap of Faith. He plays a kid who is cripple or whatever, and he winds up walking. A Steve Martin movie in the early 90s. He was in Everyone Says I Love You, the Woody Allen movie. Then he was in Mars Attacks, which we had mentioned was the one we could remember. But then after that, he doesn't really have many other notable credits here. And yeah, so that's all that he does have a part in Lincoln, which I liked. And he was in the movie Jobs, which I didn't think was very good. So he's been in a bunch of things. He's been First Man. So, he had some screen credits, just none that we can remember at the time. Anyway, what else? Oh, Rutger Hauer. When we were talking about Lady Hawk, I had said that they both turned into animals at the same time, but that wasn't how it happened. Rutger Hauer was a wolf at night, and Michelle Pfeiffer was a hawk during the day. So that's why Matthew Broderick always got to interact with one of them, but never both of them at the same time. And they were never able to be together because one was always a human while the other one was some sort of other animal. So I got that wrong. I also, when I talked about, we were talking about the film reunion, the online reunion stuff, we were talking about Goonies. I had said Josh, and I couldn't come up with his last name. His name was Josh Gad. He'd been in a bunch of things. He was the snowman in Frozen and stuff like that. But anyway, he's the one who hosted the that online Zoom stuff. Also, Cari had mentioned that she wanted to be Cari Green, but she said for Christmas for some reason. She wanted to be Cari Green for Christmas. I mean, she meant for Halloween, but she said for Christmas. So I wanted to mention that. And the only other mistake that I wanted to mention was that we all kept calling him Brad, when his name was Brant, not Brad. So we all got that wrong. I don't know how many of us got that wrong, how often we got that wrong, but we all got that wrong. So that was it for the first part of this podcast. It's been going pretty good. The audio kept cutting out on Edward's and Ronnie's part, so it's been a difficult, tricky edit. But I'm working on it, and I'll get the second part of this episode out as soon as possible. So please stay tuned for the conclusion of the movie year that was 1985.